Hey, what's up YouTube? Today we'll be looking at the Pwnage Trinity CF. This is a Viper Mini SE clone. I would say they do have some differences though that are pretty noteworthy, but they are meant to be competing with each other. So let's just get into the design. So first off, this is the Sakura Samurai edition from Pwnage. It has like those red accents, and it's not like completely black. It has like this little like green undertone to it, I'd say. Yeah, you guys can kind of see the lighting. It's like a little bit green. It is a very nice design. Matches very well with my mouse pad. Some people may not like the super non-minimalist designs, which they do have just like standard colors like black. First off, let me get straight into the build quality of the mouse. Overall, the mouse I was sent has very good build quality. It doesn't creak. It's very solid. You know, the M1 and the M2, they don't wobble. Very good click tensioning. The one thing is that the base is quite flexible, so if you were to press like super hard into the base, it would cave inwards. But the reason for that is because it has to be flexible in order for it to transmit signals to your PC. So I wouldn't really worry about that. It's not like something that's wrong specifically with your copy or this copy. It is just on every single copy. And most people wouldn't be pressing into the bottom of the mouse anyways. In terms of weight, the Pwnage Trinity CF weighs at 41 grams, while the Razer Viper Mini SE weighs at 49 grams. So there's like an 8 gram difference between them. They do advertise the weight to be 38-39, but this is the solid side edition. So, you know, there may be some variance there. One thing to note though, when we talk about weight, when it comes to mice, and as someone that plays heavy tracking games and is currently ranked 10 Punisher Marvel Rivals, and I've been doing a lot of tracking this past week, is I would argue that weight balancing is super important. Yes, weight of the mouse is important, but how the mouse actually feels in hand is even more important to me. For example, the Razer Viper Mini SE is a $300 mouse that has absolutely garbage fucking weight balancing. It is super front heavy for no reason whatsoever, and it's $300. When you literally track with this mouse, you can feel the front of the mouse just significantly more heavier than the rest of the mouse. And yes, it's 49 grams, but because of that, it sometimes feels more than 49 grams, which absolutely tilts the fuck out of me when it comes to this mouse. What Pwnage has done is they've done exceptional weight balancing. Same shape, besides like the slightly higher hump, which helps filling out your hand. Compared to the Razer Viper Mini SE, the weight balancing on this is exceptional. There's no one specific part of the mouse that feels significantly heavier than the other mouse, especially in use, and that is one thing I love that Pwnage have done. They have the same shape as the Razer Viper Mini SE, it's lighter, and the weight balancing is better. And that's one thing that I do love. One thing that I don't love about the mouse is the scroll wheel. I feel like the scroll wheel here feels kind of cheap compared to the rest of the mouse. It does get the job done. Yes, you can, you know, B-hop, wall jump, and do all those things you love to do. But the scroll wheel does feel relatively cheap compared to the rest of the mouse. I don't know if it's like the texture or like what it is about the scroll wheel. Now the scroll wheel does feel fine, like the actual, you know, like scrolling itself. It's just like the actual wheel feels cheaper, even compared to something like the ULX here, which I would argue has like a better scroll wheel. Now, speaking of scroll wheel switches and all that, the switches here are also opticals, just like the Viper Mini SE. They're very tactile, very snappy. They feel very good. They sound very good. Very good switches in general. I really like these switches. That's one thing that I was very surprised about when I got the mouse, is how nice the switches feel. I'm like, oh my god, these switches feel great. I really like tactile and snappy feeling switches. You know, they actuate very well. As you can see here, pre-travel, post-travel, you can see all that. It's not bad at all. Very good overall, very good click implementation. One thing to note about this mouse is the very unique thing that Pwnage has done on all their mice is being able to adjust the sensor. So when you get this mouse, it comes with a screwdriver, which is very cool. You can be a handyman with your mouse, and you basically have two screws right here, screw here and screw here. And if you unscrew these two screws, you can then adjust this sensor. So you can just move the sensor up and down after you adjust these two screws, or you take them out, and you can basically determine where you want your sensor to be. This is something that's very good for people that want to experiment with sensor positioning. I'm somebody that really doesn't care for that, but you know, if you're somebody that does care about sensor you know, positioning, that is a very good bonus to have. It doesn't hurt to have it. The mouse itself uses a PAW 3950. They like to call it the zero sensor. It does support up to 8K hertz polling rate, so if you're a polling rate guru, great stuff for you. You get that very fast latency. And another thing we must talk about is the coding. If you're somebody with very sweaty hands, you might find the coat to be kind of slippery. I don't really sweat when I play, at least my hands, so I don't have that problem too much. I do have grip tape on the mouse because I was experimenting with the grip tape because I love comparing grip tapes from various brands. Razer, I don't like the grip tape, and Final Mouse, the X grips absolutely suck. I don't know why the X grip sucks so much, but I don't like Final Mouse grip tape at all. You know, I would say the Pwnage grip tape is better so far that I've like, from what I've used it. I haven't used it for like over a week, so I don't know if it would get like super slippery like with the grip tape. I've used the mouse, but with the grip tape, I've not used it for that long. I don't have a problem with the coating. If I was to describe the coating, it feels kind of ashy, kind of like dry. For me, it reminded me of like the end game, but for others it might, but for me it did. Especially the sides, specifically the sides reminded me of the XM1. So that's what it reminded me of, but some people might find it slippery. So if you do, it does come with grip tape. And another thing that it does come with is loads of skates. Like you get tons of skates. You get 2 packs of these dot skates, and then you get the virgin grade rounded edges skates, which is absolutely great. You get a bunch of stuff, and you also get a box that is very similar. So as you can see, you get this box that has kind of like this, it's not leather, it's like clearly like paper or cardboard, but it kind of has like a leather look to it, which really reminds me of the Razer Viper Mini SE box, which is also like this like leather look. I mean, this is like literally like fake leather though, but yeah, they even went for that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, overall, for $140, you are basically getting a better Razer Viper Mini SE, better weight balancing at $140 compared to the $299 fucking Razer Viper Mini SE. Better weight balancing, arguably, you know, lower weights, and just more availability and more designs. So overall, it is a very good mouse. If you're somebody that wants to try symmetrical mouse, is in love with hourglass mice, it is a very good option. Now, yes, you could be like, well, Kami, there's so many Razer Viper Mini SE clones out there. Yes, there are many clones with the same dimensions of this mouse, but the actual weight balancing of those mice might not be too good. And one thing I can say here is the Trinity has done an exceptional job with weight balancing, so I can highly recommend this mouse. It's not the only mouse out there with the Viper Mini SE shape. There's also the HitScan Hyperlight. There's loads of other mice that I've heard well received things. So yes, this isn't like the only mouse that is a replacement for the Razer Viper Mini SE. But if you're somebody that likes a bunch of designs, wants an adjustable sensor, loves snappy tactile optical switches, 8K Hertz polling rate, this is a great alternative and I highly recommend it. And the weight balancing is absolutely exceptional. That's one thing I can hand down to Pwnage tremendously. And as someone that's been playing a lot of tracking recently, currently rank 10, I could say like this is a great mouse. This mouse will not hold you back at all. And one thing I would change is the scroll wheel. But yeah, it's been your boy Kami. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This mouse was sent to me for free, but I don't have an affiliate code as I'm recording this video. I'm not making any money, so these are my raw thoughts about the mouse itself. Let's try to get to 550 subs. Thank you so much for the support, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.